Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Forget Donald Trump. Forget Donald Trump. Woo! Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
We do have to move for safety reasons to make sure that nobody gets hurt. So we're going to go ahead and head over to the park, y'all. You ready? Let's go.
And the march continues. And there. Woo! Oh boy. Interesting. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
But the man who is their boss is Mark Washington. Mark Washington, at this point, thinks he is invincible. He is not invincible.
Mm-mm.
If he doesn't do what the community asks him to do, we will find a way to make that man jobless.
Woo! Say it again! Say it again!
No job.
That's right!
I said this last week and I'm going to say it again. They talk about bridging the gap between the community and policing. They talk about building community trust with the police. It's obvious, it's more than obvious. They don't want to build community trust between people like me, people of color. They want to build community trust with people like white people. White people that spend their money here all the time.
All this gentrification going on.
They don't care about us. They don't want us to be here. It's obvious. With the gentrification that is already taking place on the west side and the gentrification that is actually taking place on the southeast side. There is no reason why the gun violence is increasing year after year, and you're telling me the property value is more? That makes no sense. You're pushing people out of communities that they've lived in their whole entire lives. It's an endless cycle. First, you don't put funding into their communities. You make the community more expensive so they don't have anywhere to live, and they end up homeless. But what do they do for the homeless people? Absolutely nothing. They don't do anything for us at all. They do nothing for the community, and they complain, why are they like this? Why are they destroying themselves? We don't have any resources. We don't have any money. All we have is corner stores on every single corner. I grew up in Comstock Park. You don't see that shit in Comstock Park. I'm not saying that they're responsible for Comstock Park, because it's not in Grand Rapids. But communities like Comstock Park, guarantee there's no corner stores. There's probably like a gas station like a mile away. That's it. They don't give us resources. They put nothing but things that for us to destroy ourselves into our communities and wonder why we're like this. They know why. It's been like this forever. It's always been like this. You mean to tell me, myself, as a 19-year-old citizen, I know what the problem is, and you're telling me people who have worked in politics in this specific field their entire careers, they don't know anything about what's going on? Bullshit. They know. They know. Once again, Mark Washington, if you don't do what the fuck we asked you to, what we've been asking you to for the fucking longest, we're coming after you and your fucking job.
Period.
Fuck Mark Washington. And fuck Chief Payne too.
Small dick
Because
energy.
all he does is cry about how we can't defund the police, how well, we barely have enough officers as it is. But suddenly, about not even 2 months later, they pulled a bunch of officers out of their ass to put into the southeast side. Where did all those officers come from? I thought you didn't have a lot. But suddenly you have a lot to put into black and brown communities, militarizing them. Every weekend I see out my window, here come the helicopters searching through, and they always brag. This week, we arrested this person, we brutalized this person. That's how I see it. You're not gonna build trust in the community while actively bragging about how you're oppressing them. That's why it's clear they're not trying to build trust with our community. They're trying to build trust with the community that spends their money here.
Fuck the racist.
Mark Washington said it was a priority. Back in 2019, he said it was a priority to build up the 3rd Ward. He's a smartass because by his version of building up the 3rd Ward, that's gentrification. That's not what we asked for. We're asking for basic humanity. We're asking for funding. We're asking for resources. I didn't even know half these resources existed until I got into this line of work. That's saying a lot considering I live in the 3rd Ward. So if myself didn't know about half of these things, what makes you think that somebody else will? Not everybody is down here all the time. Not everybody can afford to come down here. Bus prices are not cheap at all, and they take up all your change. I was shocked when I gave them $5 and I'm like, where's my change? And they're like, it's on a card. Like, I needed that money. It's absolutely unacceptable. And we keep coming here week after week after week. They hear us. They're just turning a blind eye. We need to remind these politicians, these city commissioners, that they work for us. And if they don't do what we ask as the community, they're about to lose their job. Anyone else want to speak on behalf of the community? Don't be shy, this is a safe space. Anyone?
You know what she means.
Cece, you want to say something?
I'm good, thank you. Alright, we can just keep chanting.
Donnie's always got something to say. I know Donnie's always got something to say, so I looked at
I can talk all damn night. Because I got experience after experience with the police. Not just with the police, but the whole damn system has been oppressing me my whole damn life. But right now, specifically, I'm going to talk about how I'm being oppressed by certain individuals. I'm not allowed to speak with said microphone. As you can already see, I have a hard time with listening. Got a hard time with somebody telling me that I'm not allowed to speak. I got a lot to say. We sat down with Chief Payne, and he tells us, you know, listen, the reason why you don't want to defund GRPD, the reason why you don't want to defund us is because we barely have enough to get by. I said, why? 56.4, Chief? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, what 56.4 though, you know? Because I don't think I've made that in my lifetime yet. So, why can't you get it done? He says, do you know on average, how many police officers a day are on duty? I says, no, Chief Payne, you're gonna have to update me on that fact. He says, 24 on average. 24 police officers. Police. 4 wards is what GR makes up. 4 wards. That's like 175 to 210,000 people. So you mean to tell me 24 officers, police, 175K worth of people, and I'm rolling down the street and I see 6 officers pulled over, pulled someone else over. So you mean to tell me a fifth, damn near a fifth of your average on a daily is pulling people over and spending the majority of their time on a busted taillight, on a no turning signal, going through a stop sign? Come on, you gotta come with it. You gotta understand that. What we understand is that the shit's fucked up, and we are not gonna take excuses anymore because we paid for this to stand. We paid for that uniform, we pay for those guns, we pay for those bullets, we pay for the whole damn show. The whole thing belongs to us. They threaten us again. What I mean by us, we the people, the community. They threaten us. GRPD threatens us and says, if you defund us, it's going to come directly out of our investigations unit. I ain't scared of shit. What does that scare me of? Y'all are not going to lower the crime rate anyway, so why is that scaring you? The crime rate is the way it is because they don't help. So why are you going to tell me, how are you going to tell me that defunding the police, taking money away, is going to cause more crime? If you can't get it done with 56.4, you're not going to get it done with 100. You're also not going to get it done with 200. You better ask Washington, D.C., okay? This ain't the only city we're doing numbers on. It's like that around the country. This ain't the only city that's being oppressed. People are waking up. People are understanding what has happened here. Because they've been lied to and tricked. But people, let me tell you, every time we get down here and we have this energy going and we're speaking to the people, it goes and it starts to turn more and more, and we see new faces, and we see more faces, we see more new faces in different events that we've had for the community and also for protesting. This is telling me that this is more. It's more than just me. It's more than just any one singular problem. Everybody's having a problem, and it seems to me like everyone's tired. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
If you are tired, I'm going to need to hear you scream it. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
I appreciate you all for coming down here. Again, this is week 8. We are Justice for Black Lives. This is us adding the pressure. This is how we know how to add pressure. We are doing that in other ways. We are also maintaining our community. We are also maintaining the unity within community. We're trying to do that through other events. We're trying to keep the community together so that when we come and add this pressure, we light the fire to their feet, okay? We hold that fire to their feet. If we want change here, we have to take these elected officials and unelected officials out of them damn seats. So please, let us be loud and disturb the peace as we march our way back down this street. I appreciate you all.
Justice for
Black lives.
Justice for
Black lives!
Justice for
Black lives!
Justice for
Black lives!
You can't stop the revolution.
You can't stop the revolution!
GRPD is not the solution.
GRPD is not the solution!
You can't stop the revolution.
You can't stop the revolution!
GRPD is not the solution.
GRPD is not the solution!
Show me what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Show me what.
There's a bunch of food places around here. There's no telling you can sit down and eat or what.
I just got to get back to my mansion by 10 because that's when the parking garage closes. I don't want to get locked up in there overnight. I'm going there and like the fucking garage door's down. Oh, closed for the night. Oh, then I'll be trying to bunk in with that other dude. Hey man, what are you doing, man? Yeah, man, my key card wouldn't work in the mansion, dude. It's like, it's weird. I didn't pay money for this key card, but it expired at the Marriott from last time I was there. It's strange. I didn't say that, but he's like, my key card won't work. He's like, well, tell the lady at the desk to give you another one. If that's indeed accurate.
Get back up and do it again. And so I thank you today for standing with me from way in New York City, and I wish I could give you each a hug and a bowl of gumbo. But I would encourage you, in the midst of feeling brokenhearted, feeling tired, and getting exhausted, to keep standing, to keep getting up, to keep fighting, to keep giving each person that you know the subconscious permission to do the work that we need to do to change this country. For you see, that standing, the ability to get up on those 2 feet that you're on right now and stand for Kawan Charles, has given the permission to someone else to stand today. And so I love you, each individually and uniquely. And though I may never see you each face to face, you are treasured and valued for giving me the courage today to go back into the living room of Miss Nelson, and say to her, there are people standing with you from across the country. You see, the beauty of our black mothers is, even in their adversity, they show strength. Miss Charles, if I had a quarter of her courage, I would be lucky. If I had a quarter of her decency and grace in seeing and having to stand in seeing what we have all seen on the internet, we would be decent human beings. The courage of Miss Nelson should keep each of us going. For she is the epitome of a black mother who has given the most precious resource she could have, her child, to a country that keeps kicking us in the behind, folks. And she gets up every day. She asks for the report. She wants to know what's next. And at every protest, folks, I want you to know and be encouraged that she's standing at the front. She's there. And so thank you for what you're doing. I love you. Thank you for giving me the courage to stand.
Thank you, Jamal. I'm gonna let Devon Norman speak now. He's another Louisiana.
Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom! Oh, freedom over me! And before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord and be free. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Amen. Thank you all so much for the opportunity for us to be here virtually with you all. Of course, like Jamal said, I would have loved to have been there with you all personally. The energy and just the amount of love that is shown is absolutely inspiring. I've never been to New York City, but I can just say that the love that you all are showing us here in Louisiana is very encouraging, and I cannot wait, as Jamal said, to go back and share with the people what is happening across this country. We understand that Louisiana is not often heard, and what is happening to Kawan Charles is so absurd and is so blatantly hard to watch. But I want you to understand that this happens very often in Louisiana. No, it may not always look like Kawan looks now, but sometimes it's just a bullet, and sometimes it's just a poison, and sometimes it's just a hanging. But it continues to happen in this state, and it goes unnoticed. So I'm so grateful for you all for standing with us and live. It has been my privilege and duty to be able to be a spiritual lead in this movement here in Lafayette, and I would continue to offer that and extend that same to you all, and let you know that Psalms 121 says, "I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills." You to do to continue to fight and continue to push. Kawan. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I will take it to my grave. I will go to my grave until Kawan gets justice, until Trayford Pellerin gets justice, until all of those in this state around Green that have been either lynched by the police or that have not gotten the justice that they deserve because they are black from the police. So we will continue to make noise. We will continue to fight, and we will continue to stand with this family. Make no mistake, God is not pleased. Those that call themselves Christian and that are quiet about what's going on, these politicians and all of these people who call themselves leaders in the gospel, and they have been quiet about this lynching, God is not pleased with them. And those that have been quiet in the movement and that have been leading people astray, that blood stain is on their hands. So I'm asking you to take that same charge to all of your leaders in your great state and your great city. Continue to use the power that you have to make amount of lies that continue to be spewed from the sheriff's department, from the officials in this state. The way that they're trying to portray his death to cover up their tracks. It's disgusting. As the sister said, it's hard to hear the way that they're trying to portray Kawan, but it's the reality of not only black men, but black boys as well. When they are murdered or brutalized, they try to paint them in a negative light, a negative picture. When you meet this family, you would understand that Kawan didn't come from a bad background. He came from a loving, caring, respectable family. So was he. So I encourage you to continue doing what you're doing, and thank you all so much for organizing this and putting this together and involving us and the family in it. God bless you.
Kiara, we have Selena Charles on, Kawan's family member.
Hi, Selena. Thank you for joining. If you would like to speak, you can. Okay.
No Trump. No KKK, no fascist USA. No KKK, no fascist USA. No KKK, no fascist USA. No cops. No KKK, no fascist USA. Cops. No KKK, no fascist USA. No cops. No KKK, no fascist USA. Ain't no good. Ain't no good. Arrest the police. Arrest the police. Ain't no good. Ain't no good. Arrest the police.
USA! No cops! No KKK! No fascist USA! I have a job! You're a dumbass! No fascist USA!
Protest.
The Proud Boys have got to go! Hey! Ho ho! These Proud Boys have got to go! These Proud Boys have got to go! These Proud Boys have got to go!
No good cops in a racist system. No good cops in a racist system.
Yeah, right? I'm telling you.
Santa Claus sing me a new song.
There's not I had no choice but to give it
We can get over 200 people chatting.
What we're out here marching for, so I definitely want to make everyone aware of that. So real quick.
This is a statement that was prepared for Black Lives Matter, Pasco County, to the city of Newport Richey, and to the Newport Richey Police Department. We begin this statement with a reminder that Newport Richey exists on stolen Tocobaga and Seminole lands. All appeals to colonial authority contained herein are intended to reduce harm against marginalized communities until such time as the land is properly returned to the stewardship of its native inhabitants. In March of this year, the world learned of the extrajudicial slaying of Breonna Taylor, an all-too familiar story to us here in the U.S. Less than 2 months later, we saw the footage of George Floyd's murder at the hand of a uniformed officer. We watched as protests sprung up, fueled by the unjust murders of peaceful black citizens, which has plagued our nation for centuries, and the unequal application of the law was made readily apparent to any who watched the cases unfold. Black Lives Matter Pasco County was formed in the wake of these horrific incidents, initially holding actions in solidarity with our siblings who were taken from us. As we held vigil for stolen lives, the response from the community was often hostile. Newport Richey claims it does not have a problem with racial prejudice, yet the slurs and threats which have been hurled at us since the day before. On July 24th, a drunken man attacked our march. The Newport Richey Police Department's response to this was to file charges based on falsehoods and abuse of their vested authority, going so far as to falsify reports in order to justify these charges. This incident caused us to examine the actions of the NPRPD in closer detail. And as we did so, we found that the deeper we dug, the more instances of police misconduct we found. By telling our stories and shining light on the actions of the NPRPD, we have created a space where more victims have been able and willing to step forward and share their stories as well. The evidence points to a pattern of corruption and a culture of toxic behavior which threatens the fabric of our community. This is made all the more clear in the wake of the murder of Guy Abel on Election Day, and the clear lack of accountability which is evident in that case. Police Chief Kim Bogart has refused to identify the officers who killed Mr. Abel, and despite receiving the funds to order body cams for his officers almost 2 months ago, no officer involved was wearing one at the time. The statements of the police chief as to the circumstances of Mr. Abel's extrajudicial murder are countermanded by the statements from witnesses which we have received. Given NPRPD's history of falsifying reports, we have no faith that Chief Bogart's statements on the case are accurate. It is a matter of historical record that the very institution of modern policing has its roots in slave-catching patrols predating the Civil War. And the position of Black Lives Matter Pasco County is that these poisonous roots have infected the entire institution from its inception. We recognize that law enforcement's primary directive is to extract wealth through fines and labor through the loophole in the 13th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution from the citizenry. We hold that the only real solution is nothing short of abolition of police, prison, and ultimately colonial government structures. We also recognize that these issues are much bigger than a single department, a single city, a single jurisdiction. However, change must come from below, and there is much that can be done to mitigate the harm these institutions inflict upon our community. And so it is that we present these demands to the City of Newport Richey and to its police department. First, we demand the department immediately dismiss and cause to be ineligible for rehire and law enforcement in Pasco County the following officers whose lack of self-discipline and or respect for the community they purport to serve has directly caused harm. Number 1, Joseph Valente, who along with Anthony Kasparidis broke the law of Pedro Perez during an unconstitutional arrest in 2016 and remains employed by NPRPD. More recently, he injured Shaniki Whiting while she was checking on a neighbor who was experiencing a medical emergency and falsely arrested her. Bobby Labrito, who injured and falsely arrested a minor earlier this year. Labrito previously was dismissed from his post in Orlando for excessive force and found employment here in NPR. No, yeah, that was Bobby.
Okay, so real quick, for y'all don't know, nobody knows about this officer Bobby Labrito because no one has reported on it. So like we said, we've created a space where people can come, you know, like someone came and shared their story to Nikki and gave a video of a young boy basically being brutalized by this officer Bobby. So again, these things are happening all the time to our youth, but no one knows about it and no one's reporting. If Black Lives Matter didn't have this on a poster right now, nobody would know about it. Nobody would have no idea. So it's very important that we hold our police accountable, and as they like to investigate us, we investigate them.
Number 3, Michael Toldo made public social media posts supporting the Kenosha, Wisconsin Reverend Kyle Rittenhouse, who was illegally armed and murdered 2 BLM protesters. Matthew Patch, who in 2011 fired his taser at an unarmed black man, causing him to roll down an embankment into a pond where the man drowned. In 2012, he was involved in a drunk driving collision where his VAC was over twice the legal limit. Elizabeth Denson, who publicly posted photos of herself to social media posing alongside a Confederate flag, a historic symbol of racism flown by white supremacists and evocative of slavery, all while smiling. And finally, Kim Bogart, whose command has seen people of color go from being arrested at a rate of 1.6 times their Caucasian counterparts to being 3.24 times more likely to get arrested. At times, this number has been as high as 4.06 times more likely to get arrested. He has actively attempted to foster a presentation among the community and has disparaged us publicly to the media, to the city council, and to anybody who would care to listen, all while acting in his official capacity as chief of police. His lack of leadership and transparency has allowed the toxic culture of NPRPD to flourish. Secondly, we demand the following steps be taken to mitigate the harm which NPRPD is capable of inflicting upon the community it purports to serve. Number 1, we demand the formation of a community accountability board with the power to subpoena and the power to take and investigate claims of police misconduct so that independent oversight may be exerted over the NPRPD and that citizens may make complaints free from fear of reprisals. We demand that the City of Newport Richey work with concerned citizens to facilitate the formation of this board immediately. We call upon City Manager Debbie Mann to authorize a full FBLE investigation into the NPRPD and its practices. While FBLE is investigating the murder of Guy Abel, we call for a broader investigation into the entirety of the department's activity under Kim Bogart. We demand that all officers be required to wear their body cams at all times while on duty and engaging with citizens, and that turning off their body cam be considered tampering with evidence and obstruction of justice, and that the footage from those body cams be made accessible to the public within no more than 3 weeks of its recording as a matter of public record. We demand that NPRPD institute a policy which disqualifies any applicant who has been found to have committed a violent crime or to have abused their position of authority in any law enforcement capacity who have not been exonerated in a court of law. We demand full transparency by the NPRPD in cases of police misconduct and use of force, and specifically with regard to the murder of Guy Abel. The community has the right to know what is happening and to have accurate information in a timely manner. The lack of information coming out of NPR-PD, including readily verifiable information, does nothing but deepen the divide of trust in our community. We demand that the City of Newport Richey immediately adopt a human rights ordinance, that we may have legal recourse to protect the marginalized people of our community. We demand that this ordinance be comprehensive and enforceable. We demand that the NPR-PD implement additional de-escalation and implicit bias training, and that they work with members of the community to identify appropriate sources for this training, and that all officers be required to take this training before being allowed to carry any weapons, lethal or less lethal, while on duty. We demand that NPR-PD uses discretion to cease arresting citizens for petty victimless crimes, such as sex work, houselessness, and drug possession. And finally, we demand the City of Newport Richey work to create programs which are beneficial to the community, rather than penalizing those who are experiencing hardship. Only by building these safeguards into our community can we hope to address the issues plaguing us and create a stronger, safer environment for all. We demand that the City of NPR work to increase access to mental health clinics and mental health support services. We demand that the City of NPR implement plans to increase access to housing, including rent controls and community housing projects. We demand that the City of NPR implement, as an alternative to incarceration, rehabilitation programs which address the underlying issues which lead to crime in the first place. We demand that the City of NPR mandate the hiring of licensed social workers to respond to mental health emergencies and victimless crimes. We demand that the City of NPR invest in programs which benefit the youth and encourage them to be part of the broader community rather than policing them. We demand that the City of NPR enact such ordinances as to decriminalize sex work within the city and to discourage prosecution of sex work under state law and county law by local law enforcement agencies. These are but the first baby steps toward the shared goals of peaceful coexistence and mutual respect, which form the foundations of human society. Black Lives Matter Pasco County is dedicated to rooting out the abuses of unjust authority and will continue in its mission to fight for the full liberation of marginalized people everywhere. In the words of for our freedom. It is our duty to win.
It is our duty to win.
We must love each other and support each other.
We must love each other and support each other.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
We have nothing to lose but our chains.
Thank you.
Yeah, anyone wants copies of that? And yes, I have these. You know what?
This is what unity looks like. Show me what unity looks like. This is what unity looks like. Show me what unity looks like. This is what unity looks like.
If anybody wants a water to carry with you on the way there, please come grab one. Yeah, or some cookies.
Say what?
They do free. You have to go down and get it inspected. So they actually it's not free. It's like a
Power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop.
Say what? Same thing.
Power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop. Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop.
Say what?
Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop.
Don't stop. Say what? Revolution!
Revolution! What's the solution?
Revolution!
Revolution! Good cops in a racist system. No good cops in a racist system. No good cops in a racist system.
Our streets! 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 Our streets!
No justice, no peace. Take it to the streets. Fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Fuck the world. Take it to the streets. Fuck the police. No justice, no peace. Fuck the world. Fuck the police.
No justice, no peace!
Fuck the world.
These racist cops have got to go!
No, no! These racist cops have got to go! No, no! These racist cops have got to go!
These racist cops have got to go. These racist cops have got to go. These racist cops have got to go.
Defund the police! Defund the police!
Defund the police!
There's this guy like driving.
Justice! Now! Justice! Now!
There again, I didn't.
Shut it down! You don't get no peace!
You don't get no peace! You don't get no peace! You don't get no peace! Black lives, they matter here! Black lives, they matter here! Black lives, they matter here! Black lives, they matter here!
Stand up, fight back!
Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! No peace! No peace! Police!
Woo! Huh? What did you say?
I said they haven't seen any police. They're hiding. They're taking care of the Proud Boys.
Listen, don't take those Proud
Right?
Boys.
Yeah, really.
We know they're out there.
Come on, fast, guys. You got children.
I'm going as fast as I can.
Right next to you.
Where's the other one? Wait for the car, please. Never an opportunity for you guys to be quiet and gifting.
Be really careful. There's like random holes.
Random hole.
Guilty as hell!
Send those killer cops to jail! The whole damn system is guilty as hell! Send those killer cops to jail! The whole damn system is guilty as hell!
The white car turns right into the undercover.
People know we're black lives are under assault. What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Stand up, fight back! Black lives, they matter here! Black lives, they matter here!
Black lives, they matter here!
Black lives, they matter here! Black lives, they matter here!
No good cops in a racist system.
No good cops in a racist system.
No good cops in a racist system.
No good cops in a racist system. No good cops in a racist system. Black lives, they matter here. Black lives, they matter here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you get to see your live far away.
Yeah. It's gonna be for 2 weeks, so it's gonna be fun as hell. I'm so excited. It's my first time. I started driving a year ago, so this is my first driving road trip. Like I've taken 2-day-long road trips, but this is the first time I'm driving.
Oh, and you said Michigan.
Yeah.
Straight up 75.
Right. Yeah. So we're going right through all the big cities.
Yes.
I'm so ready for it.
Cool, and you get to stop along the way a little bit?
Not really.
Ain't no good. Ain't no good. Arrest the police.
Arrest the police!
Ain't no good. Ain't no good. Arrest the police.
Arrest the police! Arrest the police!
Yeah, that looks really dope. Seriously, this year.
No justice, no peace, what's 12?
Police, no justice, no peace, fuck 12. No justice, no peace,
fuck 12. He likes it.
White silence is compliance.
The cops are the racist system.
No good cops in a racist system. No good cops in a racist system. The cops and the Klan go hand in hand. The cops and the Klan go hand in hand. The cops and the Klan go hand in hand. Stand up, fight back. 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 Black lives, they matter here. Black lives, they matter here.
I caught that. He said we ought to be shot. He said we ought to be shot, and I caught that with my mic too, bitch.
We're gonna go disrupt some people's night.
Wait, is he not there? The guy that I could see.
I didn't know what was going on.
I'm like, oh god, I'm
Right?
Hey, Brian. Hey, Brian's lying. Hey, guys. Sometimes I can't tell if they're like being mean. Ow, fuck me. Thank you.
because they will hump and talk shit. What happened?
Why didn't you say nothing?
No, I thought.
The sidewalk busted?
Hey, man, sounds like you got the. You're not yelling in our faces. Be careful, be careful, be careful.
Hey, y'all, this is
Citation, don't meet on the sidewalk.
$65 million, you can't fix the damn sidewalk. No, right? Oh, they just got in and programmed it.
I don't think it's 65.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say it's
Uh-huh.
either 650,000 or anyway, I think it's on the south side. They're trying to say it's for the school and this and that.
So we got a crowd here. So we're getting ready for tomorrow. There's a crowd building. Thank you, men in blue and women in blue. Our police are here. They're lined up around the corner in all directions. Alright, we gotta end this video. Rob Cordes signing out, Washington, D.C. I got work to do.
He lost! Hey, no Trump! No KKK, no racist USA! Let's go, no Trump! No KKK, no racist USA! No Trump! No KKK, no fascist USA! No Trump! No KKK, no fascist USA! No KKK, no fascist USA! He's gonna do something right. He's gonna protect us because who keeps us safe? We keep us safe. Fuck 12. Bye-bye now.
All those Becky's.
You know what I was gonna say.
One day. Once a day you gotta tell me, and I love you, and I'm sorry. I really fucking try, I swear. I'm like, all right. You're doing good today.
You're doing good.
I love it though. I know who my problem.
But you're not glad he's in that because I can see you and I know that I'm up here. And I need to be here. I think that one night that they had. I love you, that one night that White Tower that was.
Oh, I know.
Yep.
That one night that you had that out here.
Yeah, it's Friday.
racist system! No good cops in a racist system!
No good cops in a racist system. 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 Silence is compliance. Stand up, fight back. Stand up, fight back.
I just think this is
Stand up, fight back. No peace. No peace. Police.
Maybe slow down a little bit. Slow down, just a little. Well, you get across the thing, okay. Keep moving.
Feels so much better now.
Got I-6.
Keep it moving.
Money for schools. Money for schools, not police. Money for schools, not police. Money for schools, not police.
Justice.
Now. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down.
Not looking at all.
White silence is compliance. White silence is compliance. White silence is compliance. White silence is compliance.
Revolution. 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 Revolution.
Revolution. Revolution.
Dispatch extraction.
Cops and the Klan go hand in hand. The cops and the Klan go hand in hand. The cops and the Klan go hand in hand. The cops and the Klan go hand in hand. The cops and the Klan go hand in hand. The cops and the Klan go hand in hand. The cops and the Klan go hand in hand. The cops and the Klan go hand in hand. The cops and the Klan go hand in hand. The cops and the Klan go hand in hand. The cops and the Klan go hand in hand. The cops and the Klan go hand in hand. Say no to the po-po. That's gonna be our thing. You always hear that.
You guys always said this was the right
nearly as proud of that as I am as I serve Jesus Christ. And I've been coming to warn everybody because I wondered why they were running Joe Biden in the first place.
I can't play it. I
And the Lord told me,
even from the mic.
they want the civil unrest.
Hold that up.
They need the civil unrest. They need us to war with each other because it didn't work from the reverse racism they were pushing everybody into. So they need civil unrest to disarm us because they need certificate
Hold
of
this up.
vaccination.
Can you get your girl under control?
Certificate of,
What
it
girl?
keeps cutting. They need certificate of vaccination identification. That's COVID. It started in 19. And the reason why they ran Biden, the reason why they...
Keep the microphone that way.
Oh, that way. Okay, sorry. The reason why they ran Biden...
When this goes over there, it screeches.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm getting schooled on how to use the mic. The reason why they ran Biden is because they needed to steal this election. That's why I posted on Facebook that they were going to do this. They're doing it globally. They need all the free nations given into this system, the 5G certificate of vaccination. That's how they're going to put everybody into bondage. This war is for the soul, as Biden says, because he's trying to take the rest of your freedom. He's trying to...
Don't point the microphone like that, because you're pointing at the speaker, it screeches.
Put some music on too.
This guy won't fucking listen.
I know, but that's why I gotta
Don't
listen.
get provoked into the war. We need to unite. Everybody in your community
Where's my microphone? You gave it?
unite and not get provoked into war with each other. Because if they do, they will be justifiably implementing martial law. We do not have a problem. Okay.
You want to hold this out?
Now needed the truth so he can be on the truth tree. Amen? Okay? That's what we...
Why do you keep pointing at the speaker?
Listen, I love this. This is Kansas City in the house. Everybody feels the same way. He's hitting sediments we all know.
You can't point the microphone at the speaker. It's got to be pointed away from
We
the
have some
speaker.
great musicians and famous people. Here's a guy who built all the hospitals with no patients right here. His social media right here. Actually showed the real videos of nobody at the hospital, so COVID, no COVID. Anybody notice that the flu is down 95%, but COVID spikes? Where'd the flu go, guys? Flu go. Okay, we need some music. We need music. We're gonna get music.
Officer forward. This is my microphone and my vehicle. Tell me what to do. So I'm the only one that can cut everything. I'm the one that can shut it down. All right. Shut it down. All right. So what? We are not going to have what happened here 2 months ago. Shut it down. All right. I wasn't here 2 months ago.
You're happy.
So you're already going to lose your liquor license again behind this. Shut it down. All right. Albert's already my liquor license. Okay, well, I don't want to.
Okay, everybody. I've been asked to shut down the music. They said they don't want to happen what happened here 2 months ago. I wasn't here 2 months ago, and I don't know what happened. But we're here for one thing, to support, investigate the vote, audit the vote.
Stood behind the line just like they asked us. So, done nothing wrong. So stop. All right, keep going. Empty container. Right there. We're going to arrest them. Beer?
Hey, I wanted to honor you. I appreciate you.
There's nothing to do.
What's up, man? Joe Collins. You don't remember me?
recognize you. What did you do? I ran for Congress against Maxine Waters. I toured up last time you were here. We toured the whole block about it. And he came down to Beverly Hills also.
So everybody needs to follow the rules so there's no problems. Make sure you're not carrying any open intoxicants. Nobody's drinking. On the streets, there's not alcohol is not allowed in the streets.
Play the music. Play the music.
I fought him with the Constitution. He was trying to say
Play the music, bro.
I heard the guy said you got a beer. He goes, yeah, arrested.
No.
He said arrested.
No, that's my shit. Saying you're part of
Stop right there! Watch your shit about it! Shit about it!
So he was saying, no matter what we do, we're going to find something. I said, the guy said, it's him. It's our constitutional right to be here. I did good with them. That's why you're still open right now. Just wait. You shouldn't flash red lights, though. Any red lights need to be shut down.
I don't have any red lights. Those are yellow.
They're yellow. Give me this. Listen, I'm handling this with the cops. You would have been shut down already. With constitutional law, I know the constitutional law. He cannot cite those things. They were wrong. Put the music on. Put music on.
He told me not to play music.
Put the fucking music on. You have a right to play music. You're not part of this bar.
I don't have a permit.
I know that, but you have a right to be here. You have a right to be here.
They have a noise ordinance. I don't have the right. He's already explained it.
Listen to me. The noise ordinance.
Let me get it.
Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to play music? I'm going to talk to the other cops. Let me feel out the other cops.
You got to talk to the guy in the white. Hey, she's. I'm not. Yeah, you do it. You go to jail. You get arrested.
You're gonna be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
What are they doing for? Why are they doing this? We want cities burned to the ground. Why are they doing this? This is a peaceful protest. It's a peaceful protest.
It's not even a protest.
It's a peaceful protest.
No, tell me what's up.
No, just keep chill. Just keep chill.
No, he said, don't wait. I'm just going to talk to you.
You should blast the music right now.
You could be here tomorrow.
Rob, the chief or whatever is telling me pulls it up. It's an arrestable offense.
Okay,
we don't have
It's
a
not
permit.
arrestable. That's bullshit.
It's not arrestable, but we're going to be back.
I know. I told him. Really? And what did I do to offend you, officer? I appreciate your service.
Who said that to you?
Right there.
All right. Just go close it up. How you guys doing?
Not bad, boss.
What are you guys doing here tonight?
Just documenting.
All right.
Tomorrow's not going to be a problem if you just let me talk to the people 2 seconds and tomorrow won't
Go
be a
ahead.
problem.
You guys have to move it?
Hey.
No.
Okay. It's a peaceful protest here in Washington, D.C. A peaceful protest. We want cities burned to the ground. And you're shutting us down? Why are you shutting us down?
Guys, listen, we had a great night. They let us play for a long time. It's getting late. Some people are getting silly. We'll be back tomorrow. Just have a good night. Everybody enjoy yourself. Stay safe. Let's respect the police. And let's respect Washington.
I have my people closing this up, so we're closing it down.
Okay.
One of you guys told us where they're going to arrest us. I mean, that's not nice to say it like that. You don't shut it down, we're going to arrest you and haul you away. That's what they told my dad. One of the other guys.
I didn't.
I know you did it. But they start pulling shit, we're cleaning up.
Yeah, I think it just got...
Just fit it all in.
Everybody be safe. Thank you. Come on, guys. Everybody, it's okay. It's okay. We're a country of law and order. We're a country of law and order. It's okay. The protesters, yeah, I know the protesters never have to go home, but we do. But it's okay. We're okay with law and order.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Okay, listen, when you see black...
It's a peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. Peaceful protest.
Okay. Listen, guys. Listen, I know we want justice. We've seen Black Lives Matter.
I don't know.
Hello. Why does the sound keep going?
They might have unplugged it.
No. Hello.
Whenever they show up, we
Guys, this is fair. We are law and order. Let's not be like these other groups we complain about. Let's respect our police. It's pretty late. People are a little buzzed. Everybody's more far than sleeping tomorrow. Let's not be like the people we complain about, okay? It's not fun. Sometimes we have rules. We love law and order. We respect our police. We are not an unruly group. So I want to thank our police officers tonight. And let's respect law and order. We love it. Back the blue.
Back the blue. Back the blue.
Back the blue. Back the blue.
Thank you. You're our heroes right now. You're our front line in this revolution. And you don't have to show up for work, but you do, and we appreciate you for it. Okay? Let's not be like the other guys. God bless you all. Thank you. See you tomorrow. It's going to be a great march tomorrow. Come on, guys. March for our freedom. March for our constitutional rights. God bless America. Trump 2020. Trump won this. Okay?
Shout out to A&B Roofing, our sponsor today.
Does he get text?
I'll leave your mic on your seat.
He wouldn't answer me. He hung up right away.
Well, keep calling him. Just text him. Your dad wants it.
I did. I sent him that text.
Just tell him the police are shutting it down at Harry's.
The police are shutting it down at Harry's. He's getting me now.
Never been emotional. I have never been emotional.
You've
never been emotional.
Are you emotional today?
The last fucking minute. I was crying.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to listen to me. I don't care if you know who I am.
I just wear a shirt.
Fuck off the street. Get out the go to your hotel. We got a big day tomorrow. Tomorrow's the day. Let's leave the cops alone. Get the hell out of here. Tomorrow is the fucking day of fucking destiny. So clean the fucking streets. Go home. Leave the cops alone because we need them tomorrow. Go fucking home.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they'll listen to that.
For those that don't speak English, El Presidente Trump, numero uno. Trump 2020. Thank you.
Did you get that?
I got that.
Can you say, is it okay to say if the Antifa infiltrate us, they show up, we immediate distance from them, if the pressure is ourselves from them, if they show up? They will pretend us if they look at, if they check people out.
Thank you, Blue. Thank you, Patriots. We appreciate all you've been doing. Thanks for being here. Shout out to the Metropolitan Police. God bless you and your families.
Amen.
Let's hear it for the Blue.
Amen. Hallelujah.
And make sure everybody supports Harry's Bar all week and follows the rules. Too many people are here tonight, so they had to close down. Mayor shut it down, from what I understand. So let's just be peaceful. Have a good night. Everybody go home safely. Let's all work together. Unity in the community. Support bars that support America. Harry's Bar and Family Restaurant. And Harry's made us follow the rules really clear. They made us wear a mask walking in. They kept the social distancing, and they asked us to be seated while we were in there as a guest. They didn't want us standing around, and we followed those rules. On the sidewalk, it was a little bit harder. There was too many people on the sidewalk waiting to get in. So that's the reality. So everybody be cool. God bless. Let's calm down. Let's head home. Head to your hotels. Let's get a good night's sleep and let the police sleep tonight.
We're doing good.
I know.
I put some in the bag too.
I know. Just shove it under my seat.
Shout out to Officer Hala. Hey, we're going to give Washington, D.C. a spelling lesson. You spell defend, D-E-F-E-N-D. All right, everybody in Washington, D.C., learn that. You spell defend, D-E-F-E-N-D. It's very easy. Some people spell it wrong.
Wait, can I make a quick announcement? Yeah. Sorry. Hey, y'all, some of you might know me, some of you might not. I'm Tatiana. I'm with Temple People's Protest. We're doing an event down in Tampa at Julian B. Lane Park on the 21st from 1 to 4. We're going to have different speakers from different organizations, and we're going to talk about different issues that are going on in Tampa. If you got any questions, reach out to the TPP for the people, Tampa People's Protest, me or Jenna. Yeah.
Somebody left a black bag here with some signs and personal stuff in it. If anybody knows whose it is, they got to get it. There's a black garbage bag with some signs. Whoever wants it, get it, or I'm taking it. Okay, you're going to follow me, Val. We're leaving.
I know we are.
All right, I just want you to be prepared. Sorry for yelling earlier, but I've been getting shit from everybody. 100 people. All right. I'm going to... Would you tell the ambulance to follow me out? Could you tell the ambulance to follow me out? Run up and tell them so I don't have to? All right, I will. I'll come back. I know. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your service. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your service. Thanks for your service, guys.
Hey, folks.
Tell him I'm going to pull out and he's going to follow me.
Yeah, you got one to move.
All right.
Elections going on your system.
All right. Okay, everybody. We'll see you all tomorrow. Let's have a safe night and a safe rally. It's time to head home. Everyone have a safe night and a safe day tomorrow. God bless America. America see, if your building says Black Lives Matter on it, they leave the glass alone. If you don't put Black Lives Matter on it, they board it up. That's why most of DC is boarded up. Every life matters and we know it. But the organization is a domestic terrorist organization. Thank you, Metro Transit. God bless you and your family. There's police on every corner. Audit the vote. Every legal vote counts. A shout out to Modena. And they can't take that away. The streets of DC are safe tonight. Trump supporters are here. Steal unity in the community. Trump 2020. To the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas. El Presidente Trump, numero uno. From Detroit down to Houston, in New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart. Look it, there's a Democratic CBS, all boarded up. The message to America is Joe Biden. If he loses, everything has to be boarded up because the Democrats and left will riot, burn and loot, destroy buildings, destroy businesses. That's the Democratic oath. If we lose, we destroy. We're all doing our part, and we all know that every vote counts. Every illegal vote dilutes your vote. Keep America safe. Trump 2020. Shout out to Moxie. We need to stop the hate. Hope President Trump wins. And when he does, stop the looting and burning. Stop the Democrats from burning and looting your businesses. And the liberals, they're doing it in Democrat cities across America. You've all witnessed it. That's true. You're seeing it here in D.C. Stand up. Take your city back. Okay, we gotta end this. Jason, you gotta stop. Jason, quiet.
So we're checking into our hotel. We pre-arranged parking. So I'm going to sign out. Jason, you gotta wait there. Everybody come be part of our documentary film. We've got 11 cameras filming everyone. With facial recognition, eye recognition. I gotta back up. But be part of our documentary film. Oh, those cool skateboards will look great on the film with our cameras. It's awesome. I like the red, white, and blue lights. You guys are cool, man.
What? No.
I like the plan.
Yeah.
If you guys will join me, we want to show you, we really want you guys to think about, because I know if you're here, you love me, right? I know you care about my well-being, and you want me to thrive, and you want me to make it to another day, right? Okay, so imagine a second. Imagine if it wasn't Herman, and it was me, or it was Jewel, or Emily, or Claire. I want you guys to really put that in your head, put that in your heart, and put that in your mind.
So if you can't hear, the BIPOC here are wearing white shirts with blood on it, and they will be taking a 5-minute silence to represent, you know, like
this is what's happening. This is the target here. It's not white people. It's not a lot of things, but it is most certainly our BIPOC people, which are black, brown, and indigenous people of color. So this is really impactful.
Of what it might be like to lose people of color that you love, people of color that you show up for, people of color that love this community and do for this community and try for this community and want better for this community. So if you guys will join me, and then we have another class after the moment of silence, so stick with us. We know it's cold. We're trying to get you out of here as quick as possible. But this is serious to us. This is serious to me. And I've been sitting in these meetings with these police officers telling them to do their fucking job for months. I've been sitting in there begging them for them to just say white supremacy. Just say the word. And they won't even say the word. And we can't address something that we don't acknowledge. So just follow me over this way, guys. Before I'm on the silence.
To reiterate, this is our BIPOC community with blood on them, because this is what's going to happen if Salem just keeps doing what it's doing, and specifically the police department.
serving us equitably and evenly and fairly. And if you've been watching what's happening in our city, what has been happening? That's the reality. They would rather explain away the rights of white supremacists and why they get away with what they get away with than do their job. They would rather continue to embolden people who terrorize our city weekend after weekend than do their job. I'm so grateful for everyone who's standing here right now, but I really want you to take this back to wherever you're going home to, whoever you're talking to, and maybe this was a silly display, but for me, this is really what I'm afraid of. I never in my life thought that I would begin to carry a gun, ever. I do now. I never thought that I would, feel the need to carry mace and have it in my hand everywhere I go. For the last probably month or 2 months, I have not gone anywhere alone. Nowhere. Nowhere. Not one place. This is reality. And maybe have the folks that are responsible for enforcing our rules or laws done their job for not just our side, but for the other side. Herman might still be here. I wouldn't have gone and stopped it. And I don't know if you guys know, but 15 police officers watched my assault and did nothing. So when we're calling for them to do their job, it's not just something ridiculous. It's not just, we don't think it's fair. This is serious. And people's lives are on the line. And families are struggling now. Because people think that they can bring hate into our city and do whatever the fuck they want to do. So we need to show them that they can. And we need to continue to stand and continue to contact the police officers, continue to contact Chuck Bennett, continue to contact our city council members, continue to do this work until all of us can walk around and feel safe. All of us. Do your job. Yes. City of Salem, do your job. Can you guys say it with me? Do your job. 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 We have letters that we've written to the city of Salem. We're going to try to get them to open the door so we can give it to them personally, so they can't say they don't know. If they don't open the door, we're going to take them to the windows. And hopefully they get to stay up like their little hearts of support, right? Because we're just supporting our community, no? Yeah.
Hey, Julianne, do you want
Yeah.
to read it?
Yeah, oh, we can read it first. Do you read it? Salem Police Department. We are writing to your department to express our concerns regarding the Defeat the Steal rally that will be held tomorrow, Saturday, November 14th, 2020, at the Oregon State Capitol at 11 a.m. As shown countless times during every rally hosted and organized fully or in part by Megan Marie and her associates, Proud Boys, Patriot Prayer, among other white supremacy groups, there will be heavily armed civilians with a variety of weapons, bear mace, bats, batons, etc., likely intoxicated, that have harmed and express intent to harm Oregon residents, and more specifically, Black, Brown, and Indigenous people of color. This will be amplified by the Million MAGA March being held nationwide. Megan Marie and those associated with her have physically assaulted members of the press, disabled individuals, and people in Salem's Black and Indigenous communities of color, as well as LGBTQIA identifying people and
and those that otherwise disagree with their politics and ideals. This has occurred repeatedly, with little to no repercussions despite several arrests and known ongoing criminal behavior. We have witnessed Salem Police Department's disregard for public safety during these events, as well as seemingly encourage their behavior. Trucks with their license plates removed and heavily armed protesters are allowed to obstruct traffic on Court Street. Rally attendees are allowed to illegally and wrongfully use bear mace on innocent bystanders. Protesters are allowed to have open alcoholic beverages on public property, as well as being intoxicated themselves, and are allowed to have open alcoholic, and are allowed to carry loaded firearms during these times. Salem has witnessed law enforcement officers ignore these blatant violations of Oregon law on multiple occasions. Officers have been observed high-fiving armed patriots after assaults on pedestrians, while simultaneously using excessive and aggressive force on counter-protesters. We recognize the constitutional right to protest and bear arms. However, we too have the unalienable constitutional right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. For fear of our and our loved ones' safety, we have to avoid the area and cannot enjoy or participate in regular community activity. We have no trust that Salem Police Department will enforce laws equitably and keep us safe, because the police department has repeatedly demonstrated its inaction during multiple rallies held by these extremist white supremacy groups. We are not at liberty to even drive Court Street out of fear that we and our property will be damaged. During last week's Save the Steel rally, several attendees intimidated, maced, and pounded on the windows of drivers and pedestrians, to which we have again seen almost zero repercussions. They have on multiple occasions roamed the Capitol Mall, Park, as well as downtown Salem with loaded assault weapons while intoxicated or actively drinking alcoholic beverages, while making their intent to hunt Antifa known. This makes us afraid for our lives, as we are simply trying to enjoy public property in the Capitol Park that was created for all Oregonians and visitors to enjoy. The Salem Police Department has a reputation for showing blatant favoritism and selective law enforcement towards Proud Boys and other extremist groups of the same nature. The Salem Police Department has given ample warning that this event is happening, as well as knowledge of the organizer Megan Marie, who has used this very location to assault pedestrians, protesters, and members of the press. It would be egregious for Salem Police Department to continue exemplifying their refusal to protect Salem residents. A step towards fair and equitable policing can begin at any moment, and we suggest strongly that you handle this upcoming rally with the same tactics used during the rallies and events organized by BIPOC and LGBTQIA+ community members on November 7, 2020. The value of Salem residents' safety is higher than that of the property of Salem Police Department seeks to protect. Please remember that as public employees, your law enforcement officers are employed to protect us, the public, and to enforce the law regardless of their political and humanitarian ideals and opinions. We implore you to take a stand, start repairing your damaged reputation, do your job, and stop letting violent white supremacy groups terrorize Salem. Thank you for your time and consideration in this matter, as well as your understanding of the severity of this issue. We look forward to seeing your cooperation in action on Saturday. Sincerely, concerned citizens. So, we have copies of these. Again, we're going to try to get them to take these from every single one of us. We're going to try to get them to take them out of our hands. If they won't, we're going to tape them to the windows. We're not going to let them say that they didn't know one more time.
Yeah.
We're not going to let them say that they weren't warned one more time. And we're not going to say that we didn't call it out and ask for something different, not one more time. So I think Emily has those. You can go ahead
That way you also, that way you also have evidence that you have handed in this letter.
I know. For the record, there's 3 of them just standing in there staring at us.
Right. And then there's one over here playing peekaboo. So they opened up for the chuds.
Yeah, we got that on video too, that they responded to the chuds and fairly promptly.
Oh, one's coming.
Hello. Your community would like to provide you with a
letter of
Please make sure every single officer, the mayor, and everybody else is. We're providing you plenty of copies.
We just want to make sure that you know that the BIPOC people in your community don't feel safe, and that it's not really appreciated, the unequitable treatment that we've been seeing from Salem Police Department. So I'm not sure who you need to take those to, but we would appreciate it if you would provide the same level of support that you provided to white supremacists last weekend to us, and support your community in taking action. There's an event tomorrow hosted by Proud Boys and Megan Marie, and we would like you to do your job.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do have, I actually the other packet.
We will be there tomorrow.
Oh, I hope you bring your swap in right.
Yeah. Are you the same way you treated us last weekend?
With that LRAD.
Yeah.
Are you going to have the SWAT here like that at Pringles Park last week?
We'll be prepared to make sure that everybody's abiding by the laws. And then it's
But are you going to not let them get a block? Are you going to, are you going to provide the same type of, the same level of severity? Because our event last weekend actually didn't harm anyone. Their event has harmed people numerous times, over and over and over again, and you all continue to allow this in our community. And I don't really understand why.
Well, our goal is to allow everybody to have the right to.
But you don't though. But you don't do that equitably.
We need to get a.
In officer work, I get that you're just one officer and there's a whole command of folks. But the issue is that we weren't even allowed to get a block before you accosted us with SWAT vehicles, threatened us with tear gas, and actually later on in the evening, hit folks to get them to go where you wanted them to go. And those folks have been terrorizing people all day long at the state capitol, and you all did nothing. They've been driving around all evening and all day without license plates. You all did nothing. When after our event, you stopped almost every single person to give them whatever little ticket you could possibly give them, whether it was not turning 100 feet before a turn, no matter what it was, you found ample opportunity to pull us over. You found ample opportunity to try to hold us accountable for behavior that we didn't even display. And we really would like you to have that same energy when you're dealing with white supremacists, because if the BIPOC in your community do not feel safe.
About license plates. Yeah, so people driving around without license plates or taped over license plates, what's the law on that?
Yeah, you need to have license plates visible. We're going to be looking for that tomorrow.
How about armed people that are drunk?
Hey, hold on.
What happens if they don't go?
So we can't see everything, so we're going to be looking for that, and we're going to take our cars over for the license.
Okay, do they get a ticket for that, or do they get
May or may not get a ticket. Depending on the.
May or may not. So I just want to know if that's a thing, though.
If it's breaking the law, shouldn't they get a ticket for it?
But hey, we pay your salary, man.
I just explained to you guys that we would be there tomorrow. And our goal is that everybody has the ability to demonstrate in a peaceful manner, that both sides has the ability to do that, and that nobody gets hurt, and that we all get along.
You guys watch them roam the parks with loaded guns and bats, terrorizing families? I actually
While drinking White Claws.
I had to leave with my children from Bush Park. When I saw a police vehicle, I told them, hey, there's things going on here, and I can't even enjoy the park. You guys said we're watching it. You guys were blocks away from that.
Our hope is that both sides were able to even be in the same spot without
Right, but you
anybody.
hope you make it happen. Right, they have to wait for us to do something wrong. You just come and attack us.
Pass this information.
Do your
job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job! Do your job!
We appreciate you all for coming. Hopefully this was as impactful for you as it was for me. This is what we need to keep doing. We need to keep putting it in their face. We need to keep shoving it down their throat until they stop ignoring it. And you know, like I said, Officer Burke is just one cog in the wheel. But until we talk to every single person, until we show action, until we continue to show up and let them know that we're watching them, it's not going to stop, and it's not going to be equitable, and it's going to continue to be unfair, and it's going to continue to be a disservice to the community of Salem. So again, I appreciate you guys. I wholeheartedly love your allyship. I wholeheartedly love that you were willing to stand out in the cold and rock with us. We know it's freezing. But this is important. This is about so much more than what happened in Minneapolis. This is about so much more than what happened somewhere else. Because this is happening here. White supremacy is happening here. Where we live. Where my kids live. Where your kids live. And we just have to do better. We have to continue to show that we are watching them and that we are on the ball and that we are not going to let up until they do their job. Thanks, you guys, and good night.
Do you need these things?
Are we leaving the balloons or taking? All right. Where are those?
Again, this is what that says. This is Did you want to see? Oh, you want to see this?
So I need you to talk to the whole community. So on the 19th of this month at 5:30, there's going to be a Zoom call talking to the grassroots community. We just had a whole group of people
Here's Julianne's phone. I don't know if she wants it. Tori.
Can Black watch
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, we can get on it. We can
Here, I'll take a look.
Actually, the other members of Black Floyd have put that together. They did such a good job. So I'm excited for that. So tomorrow night is the official Vigil. We just felt like we needed to be activated to the city forward for the event.
So what they were just saying, and I hope all of you guys join us, is tomorrow there will be a vigil at 6:30 here in Salem for Herman Graham III. Again, was the victim of a racially based murder here in Salem, in our streets, from a local business owner who killed him because he was black. You know. So we hope that you'll join us. You can find the event on my page. You can find the event on Black Joy. You can find the event on most Salem pages. Look up Sit in Salem. Please join us. You know, it's going to be very powerful. And if you're not following Black Joy Oregon already, you most certainly need to be, because most of us here tonight are from Black Joy, and it's really kind of a different way of looking at things. This was way more direct than we usually do, but you know, it takes all types to see that. So again, the vigil for Herman Graham III is tomorrow at 6:30. The location is on the Facebook event page. We will be there. It isn't, you know, it really is just that, a vigil for someone murdered just for being black here in our town. This isn't in Minneapolis. This isn't in Seattle. This is nowhere but here in Salem. So I hope you guys all join us there. We're going to make our way back after the Black Bloc people put that information on the windshields again. That was the information letting them know that violence and white supremacists are rallying at the Capitol tomorrow at 12. So be aware, stay away from Court Street, stay away from downtown, really, because they roam drunk and armed with hunting down Antifa. And we all know, and they've demonstrated in the past, that they go for our BIPOC community members first, and the LGBTQIA plus community members first. So check on your people, and we'll see you tomorrow.
If you figure it out on yourself, then you will be able to find it on other people. Yeah, so here and here. That's called your distal pulses. Any questions? Good job, guys. This was great. Thank you. So yeah, next is child. They're amazing, and they're going to teach you about how to flush your eyes.
About tear gas stuff, yeah.
Yes. which is useful as well. Yes. Any other questions before we move on? Yes.
Is the lack of pulse the one sure way to ensure that you have done it correctly?
Yes, but also if the bleeding has stopped, just like a faucet, you know, if it's still dripping, then you're not doing it well enough.
Okay.
And you can always apply a second tourniquet. You don't have to go and undo it. You can just get another one. If you don't have another tap tourniquet, then you get a scarf. And the broadened area of pressure will actually be a better tourniquet. I personally always apply 2 tourniquets to a place that needs one. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Chayo. Oh, gosh. Feel very good for that. With Mayday Medics, the other medic affinity group here in SAC, and we're going to talk about. This is really, I mean, tear gas or pepper spray would be gonna act the same for it. So tear gas, though, something to keep in mind is. It's actually like an aerosolized powder, and that's kind of how it's able to stick to everything. It's helpful to think about it that way because it will settle to the ground after not too long after being dispersed. Also, it comes out of a canister that has already been shot into an area. It won't. There's a little bit of lag time between when that canister maybe lands and then it actually disperses. So you can actually get I've seen burns from if it's really right next to you. I've seen burns on people's legs and stuff from when it actually disperses the